Well, the thing is, a lot of people mistakenly believe that Navy Fed is not open for people with fair or bad credit. It is so wrong. In today's conversation, I'm going to prove it to you. I'm going to show you step by step how to get approved for a large amount from a large loan amount, that is, from Navy Fed Credit Union with bad or fair credit. Don't go anywhere. You're going to enjoy today's conversation. I guarantee it. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Sweetie Kiwi Show. How are you today? I hope you are doing fine. I'm doing fantastic, if you were to ask me. If you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. In today's conversation, I want to talk to you about Navy Fed Credit Union personal loans. How do you get approved for a large amount with bad or fair credit? And I'm giving you a step-by-step here. Number one, you want to check your credit score. When was the last time you checked your credit score? Seriously. A lot of folks walk around, I have a 520, I have a 525, I have a 565. Are you sure about that? Are you sure you have 565 or 650? How do you make sure you have the proper credit score if you're not checking it? You need to check your credit score. Either you want to pay for it, or if you don't have the cash, good news. You have a website called annualcreditreport.com, and that website, by law, Congress has mandated that every year each citizen have access to their personal credit report from each of the three credit bureaus: Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. So www.annualcreditreport.com. All right, and this is important because, God forbid, can you imagine if you are a victim of identity theft? So somebody else is just eating their pizza on your credit score, and you're there, sinking in 450 or 475, where the person is just using your money, or not using your money, but actually opening credit accounts under your name. This is not going to work. So you want to double check and see if there are inaccuracies, if there are inconsistencies on your credit report. The first thing you need to do is you can either contact a non-for-profit credit repair organization, and they will help you send dispute letters to the credit bureaus. They can help you actually remove all the blemishes that are making your FICO lose weight unnecessarily. Okay, this is not fair, because imagine you're just here trying to improve your personal life, your financial situation, and somebody somewhere, an identity thief is basically stealing your info and opening bank accounts under your name. That doesn't work. So there are four main ways to get your credit score. You can check your credit card or other loan statement. You can talk to a nonprofit counselor, for example, right? You can use a credit score service. Actually, there is a free one called Credit Karma, or you can buy a score. But you gotta have your credit. You need to have your latest credit report, and make sure, if anybody tells you you are bad, you have bad or fair credit, at least you know that's for real, and that's not just a product of your mind, of your imagination. Step number two, you need to understand Navy Fed's loans. Before, I was talking to you about the importance of knowing your credit score. It's important because your credit score is going to determine your the kind of APR, the kind of loan, the kind of loan term you get from Navy Fed. And Navy Fed has several loans. So let's just go through those loans here. So they have the personal expense loan. This is the one that you really want to go after. This is the one that's mostly interesting for us today and interesting for you. So the personal expense loan, this is up to 36 months. The APR will go from 7.49 to 18%. And from 37 to 60 months, you have an APR that goes up because the risk is higher here. The perceived risk, that is. So 14.79% to 18%. Okay. Loan amount $250 to $50,000. Okay. And the cool thing here is you can use this money, loan to take care of unplanned and planned expenses such as auto repairs, vacations, and other major purchases. And then you have the home improvement loan. This is also interesting. If you're a homeowner, you are looking for that kind of loan, this could be interesting also. And this is a quick way to finance your home improvement or repair projects. This is great for home repairs, remodeling, or efficiency upgrades. No collateral required, $25,000 minimum loan amount for 61 to 84 months, and $30,000 minimum loan amount for 85 to 180 months. And the APR will fluctuate between 7.49% to 18%. And then they have the debt consolidation loan. This is a loan that allows you to simplify your finances by consolidating high interest debt at a competitive fixed rate. Okay, here you have affordable monthly payments, $250,000 all the way to $50,000, and the terms are the APR rather go from 7.49% to 18%. And then the fourth loan that you might be interested in, but this is a secure loan, so you need to have you need to pledge some collateral. So they call it the certificate secure loan. So here you borrow 100% of your certificate's principal balance for a variety of terms at 2% APR above the certificate's rate. So we're talking here about the CD. Okay, so if you have a CD with Navy, they will lend you money and they will charge you 2% extra. So we're talking here about certificate of deposit, right? The CD. The third thing you need to do, folks, you need to check out other Navy Fed's credit products. Why am I telling you this? Because you want to keep your options open. Okay, if you do not get approved for a personal loan with Navy Fed, don't panic. Not a problem. The world is not coming to an end. You have other plans. You have other options rather. So Navy Fed has a constellation of credit products. They have auto loans. So you have new or used auto loans. You can refinance your current auto loan, or you can do a motorcycle, boat, and leisure vehicle loans. And the APR actually are as low as 1.79% for new vehicles, as low as 1.79% for as low as a 5.95% APR for motorcycle, boat, and leisure vehicle loans. They also have mortgages. Okay, they're very strong in the mortgage department. I'm talking here about Navy. They offer they have V loan expertise, no PMI required, loan with no down payments, and they have what we call the freedom lock. I mean, that's how they call it, not us. But in other words, your rate is protected. So you have your rate is locked. This is pretty good. And so besides auto loans and mortgages, they also have student loans. This is pretty cool. If you have a student in your household or you are yourself a student, this could be worth looking at. And so you can pay for your associate, bachelor's, or a graduate degree. And so loans are available for a semester or the entire academic year up to the school certified cost of attendance. Okay, and they have a 0.25% interest rate reduction when you sign up for automatic payments. And so you can have a co-signer release that you can request after 24 consecutive on-time principal and interest payments. And the APR here are as low as 3.16% with autopay. And they also have the student and parent refinance loans. And they also have credit cards, by the way, folks. And this is one thing I wanted to talk to you about. They do have credit cards. The question is if you are interested in having some credit cards from them, this could be a great opportunity also, because when we talk about exploring Navy Fed credit union credit products, of course, credit cards are part of that. So I want to talk to you about credit cards a little bit, okay? So Navy Fed has a constellation of credit cards also that you might be interested in. So one thing you need to understand is that included with all Navy Fed credit cards, no matter your credit score, you have 24/7 access to stateside member reps. You have zero liability policy for unauthorized transactions. You have no balance transfer or foreign transaction fees. You have fraud notifications. You have the ability to freeze and unfreeze your card. You have access to your credit score, and they have low rates and average credit card APR that's 5% lower than the industry average. And that is true. We have checked that. That's true. Now let's quickly walk through all the cards that Navy Fed has. So they have cash rewards. So here with this card, you can earn 1.5% cash back on purchases. You can redeem as soon as you can. and the variable APR from 9.65% to 18%. Then you have the platinum. Here you have you can minimize monthly payments with their lowest rate card, and we love the fact that the APR oscillates from 5.99% to 18%. You have the Gold Rewards card, and we love this card. This card is fantastic. It's packed with rewards. You can earn more when you are on the go. You get 3x points at restaurants, 2x points on gas, and 1x points on everything else. And there is no annual fee on this card. This is excellent. Then you have the Visa Signature Flagship Rewards. Okay, this card is kind of cool too because you can earn 3x points for every dollar you spend on travel and 2x points on everything else. Annual fee $49, and you have variable APR 10% to 18%. And then we have the Navy Federal More Rewards American Express card. And here with this card, this is a co-branded card with American Express, okay? And you basically are maximizing your everyday spending with 3x points at supermarkets, 3x points on gas and transits, 3x points at restaurants, and 1x points on everything else. So again, this is kind of cool. And you have the variable APR fluctuates between 9.65% and 18%. And then you have the last but not the least, you have the N Rewards Secure Card. This is a secure card, okay? And so you can build or repair your credit while earning rewards. And the variable APR here is 18%. So you see all those cards. You have to look at you have to actually consider the low-hanging fruits. Which one do you have more? Which card are you more likely to get? This is the conversation you need to have with the rep. When you meet with the rep, you need to ask that question based on your personal situation, and they will walk you through the process, and they will let you know which one you might qualify for. Step number 4, folks. You need to bank with Navy Fed. You got to bank with Navy Fed. Right now, before I get into anything, I have a question for you. Who is your bank, or where are you banking right now? Are you banking with a credit union? If you're not, you better. And that credit union better be Navy Fed. Because if your goal is to get a large personal loan with better fair credit from credit union, or from Navy Fed rather, you better have you want to park some of your cash with Navy Fed. This is how the game is played, folks. I'm just showing you how the game is played. So Navy Fed is not going to lend you if you don't have any relationship with them. It's all about cultivating a relationship. You need to cultivate a rapport, not only for the short term but also for the long run. Okay, this is the kind of strategy you need to have, especially if you have bad or fair credit. And when we talk about banking with Navy Fed, we are speaking about specific things. First, you want to open at least one checking account. So Navy Fed has several checking accounts. They have a free active duty checking. They have free easy checking. They have free campus checking. They have a free everyday checking. They have flagship checking. So those are the 5 things. So you need to really, and each account has its own constellation of benefits, rates, and settings. So you need to see what really works for you. And then we have to talk about the savings account. So savings account, so you can actually have savings certificates, right? The CDs. You have emergency savings. You have investment options, and you have education savings option. I strongly recommend that if your goal is to get a large personal loan from a Navy with less than stellar credit, then you open at least one savings account and one checking account. Then you also have the certificate. So they have a standard certificate. Okay, this is kind of cool. And they have easy start certificate. Okay, they have save first accounts also. So those are the 3 certificates. Those are the 3 savings products that you need to have, and each of them has a different minimum deposit. Some for the special Easy Start certificate, it's $50. Okay, for the standard certificate, it's $1,000. The minimum you need to open an account. So yeah, you just have to see what works for you. Let me talk to you now also about the money market savings account. So basically, Navy Fed has a lot of products. So you can boost your savings potential. You grow your earnings with competitive rates, right? You are earning more than a standard savings account, so you have you can actually you just want to contact Navy Fed. They have a money market savings account, an MMSA, or a jumbo money market savings account. It all depends on the kind of moolah, the kind of cash you want to put into those money market accounts, right? And you can earn dividends with a minimum balance of $2,500. So this is $2,500. And they also offer retirement savings options. So here you have a traditional IRA or a Roth IRA. You have to choose what works for you. And we have actually covered this topic on several shows. So you might want to go into our investment and retirement catalog of videos, and you can learn more about what those things means. IRA just means individual retirement accounts. And a traditional IRA is great if you expect to be in the same or lower tax bracket when taking withdrawals, and if you are eligible to deduct your contribution. Okay, and a Roth IRA is best for you if you expect to be in a higher tax brackets when taking withdrawals, and if you don't need a deduction on your taxes now. This is something you need to think about. And so the retirement savings account that we're talking about, the RSAs, are great because they allow you to save for your future on your terms while still earning dividends. So you have long-term savings, flexible contribution amounts, and this is great for early savers. And we also have education savings options. So you can save for education. If you have a student in your household, or you yourself, you go into school, you might want to think about the education savings account, the ESA that Navy Fed has. Okay, and they do have a lot of they even have an ESA money market savings account. What is my point here? My point is that Navy Fed has a lot of accounts that will suit you, and you need to pick one or two. Don't tell me you're not interested in any of their products. You are wrong, my friend, because Navy Fed is one of the top credit unions and financial institutions in the nations, for that matter, and they are providing stellar products. So you need to find something that works for you, especially if your goal is to have if your goal is to apply for a loan from them. You need to have a relationship with them through a checking account and a savings account. And they also have education certificates. Okay, so those are so ESA certificates allow you to craft your education savings plans by earn at a locked-in rates for your choice of term. You choose the term length that you want. So you have the Coverdale ESA or the 529 plan. It really depends on what really works for you. Okay, so you got to go through your own situation and see exactly what kind of a plan applies for your particular situation. Everybody's situation is different, definitely. It's totally different. So that's what it is. I'll be right back. Right after this, don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another session of the Awesome Sweetie Kiwi Show. I am having a conversation with you in today's show about how to get a large personal loan from Navy Fed if you have bad or fair credit. Step number 5, you need to join Navy Fed and get ready. And you don't have to be in the military to qualify for membership, okay? Basically, when it comes to eligibility, nearly everybody in the United States qualifies for that. And qualifies for a membership. One thing you need to do is you need to contact the Navy Fed, and they will let you know how you can qualify. But if you have some kind of a military affiliation, you're in. In other words, they cover active duty, retired, and veterans. Okay, they cover family members, so they know that military families also serve in their own way. So immediate family members include parents, grandparents, spouses, siblings, children, including adopted and stepchildren, grandchildren, household members. If you are a DoD civilian, so Department of Defense civilians, this is kind of cool too because they support the armed forces, right? The category includes DoD civilian employees, U.S. government employees assigned to DoD installations, DoD contractors assigned to U.S. government installations, and DoD civilian retirees and annuitants. And also you might have a minor membership that also will work. Okay, so if you are an existing member and a parent, grandparents, or a guardian of a minor, you want to sign in and share the gift of membership using your their online minor membership application. And minor membership is open to children, including adopted and stepchildren, grandchildren. So my point here is that even if you don't qualify, even if you have no military affiliation, no problem. Okay, you want to contact, you can want to contact Navy Fed that will walk you through stuff. And actually, you have to call them at 1-888-842-6328, or you can visit a branch to apply in person. The number again is 1-888-842-6328. And you also need to take the opportunity to actually get ready. What I mean by getting ready is that you need to make sure that you have all the paperwork needed to apply for membership and qualify for membership. This is important. So everything from your pay stubs, I mean, I'll speak about that later on, but you want to get everything ready because you cannot get a loan. You cannot get a large personal loan with bad or fair credit from a Navy Fed if you're not a member. Okay, and so this is the very first step you need to take. The next step you need to take is you need to meet with the Navy Fed rep. I mean, I'm not saying you need to meet with the person socially, whatever. No, you don't have to. If you are not in an area, geographically speaking, where Navy Fed has a branch, then you have to talk to someone over the phone. You can actually schedule a Zoom call, or you can actually talk over the phone, right? Otherwise, I would strongly recommend that you go to a branch. If you are lucky enough to live in an area where to live in a coverage area of Navy Fed, go to a branch. And you want to have a conversation with someone who can walk you through all the requirements, all the ins and outs of the loan process. And this is very important. You want to ask for loan options. Earlier, I was talking to you about the different loan options that Navy Fed has, right? They have 4 or 5 loan options. You want to find out exactly which one you may qualify for and for how much. Because the maximum loan amount is $50,000 and the minimum is what? I think it was $250, right? $250. So somewhere in between, you might qualify for something for a certain amount. This is why you want to gauge the approval odds by talking to someone at the branch. And you also want to explain your credit score. In other words, if you know for sure you have a 540 or you have a 575, you're trying to provide contextual information. You're trying to explain that, yeah, my credit score has lost weight, but I do have a fat checking account. In other words, you might have a skinny FICO score. You might have a skinny credit score. But if you have a fat checking account or a fat savings account, those two elements might counterbalance. In other words, they might offset each other. And this is the kind of conversation you want to have with the rep. So you gauge based on the savings account that you have with them or the checking account you have with them, how much you could qualify for in terms of personal loan. Make sure you have your financial documents ready. Here I'm speaking about your personal financial statements, everything from your balance sheet to your income statement to your statement of cash flows. Very important. Your tax returns, right? Whether you have your 1040 or if you have a business on the side and the business is incorporated, then you might want to have your 1065 or your 1120, depending on the structure of the business. You want to have your bank statements ready. That's very important. And last but not the least, you need to explain your employment situation through your pay stubs, your 1099, or your W-2s. Step number 7, folks. Last but not the least, this is where things get very interesting. You need to apply at the branch. For Navy Fed, you cannot apply. You could apply online, but it's we actually don't recommend that. You want to go to the branch. I've said this before, and you got to be a member. So when you go to the branch, or when you are ready to apply and you speak to you have spoken to a rep, everything is fine. They're comfortable. Go ahead and do it. That's when you have to bring all your supporting documentation, and you have to remember that one very important criterion that Navy Fed loan underwriters pay attention to is liquidity. They care about employment, they care about credit score, but at the end of the day, guess what? They just want to get paid. They want you to be able to repay them back. That's all. They want you to repay. They want to make sure you can repay the loan. That's all they care about, really. So if you're able to demonstrate that you have sufficient cash, either now or you can have it in the future, maybe because your business is booming, or you'll get a raise at work, or you'll get bonus at work, or whatever it is. If you can prove that, you are increasing your chances of getting the loan that you deserve and want. Okay, so you need to be able to. You want to focus on liquidity. Even if you're unemployed, but you have enough kaching and enough moolah in the bank account, this is good. I mean, this is what I'm telling you here is analogous to what the business loan officers also pay attention to. Whether we are speaking about personal loans or business loans, those two situations are identical. They are analogous. Okay, you need to prove liquidity. It's all about having enough money in the bank account, either in the forms of savings account, checking account, or money market accounts, or and so on and so forth. This is why originally I was talking to you about establishing a relationship with Navy Fed and having at least one checking account and a savings account. And if you want, you can actually open more accounts. You can open an IRA account. You can open a money market account. You can open all kinds of accounts with Navy Fed. And once you do that, once you apply online, or you apply not online, you apply at the branch. You want to sign the promissory note if you're approved. Okay, you want to follow up with them in case they're not getting back to you. And if in any event, please, you want to respond to a request promptly. If they're asking for additional paperwork, additional evidence, you want to get back to them quickly. Okay, this will convey, I would say, responsibility and professionalism. Welcome back, folks. Thank you so much for your attention. This is the end of today's conversation. I was talking to you quickly about how to get approved for a large loan amount with bad or fair credit. Of course, we are speaking about Navy Fed Credit Union personal loan. And first, I want you to check your credit score. Number 2, I want you to understand Navy Fed's loans. Number 3, I want you to check out other Navy Fed's credit products. Number 4, I want you to bank with Navy Fed. Number 5, I want you to actually join Navy Fed and get ready, okay? Number 6, I want you to meet with the Navy Fed rep. And number 7, I want you to apply. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. I will see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.